Welcome back to Hot Mess Help Desk, the podcast where we make peace with the chaos of college life.
I'm Lainie K.
And I'm Mya Ice. Today's topic is one that most students laugh at when we bring it up in counseling: sleep.
Or, as some of you may consider it, this mythical concept that you'll just get back after graduation or finals or midterms.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, Mya, here's your check-in question for today. How many hours did you sleep last night? And do you think coffee counts as breakfast?
So, according to my watch, I got 7 hours and 58 minutes of sleep. Ugh, it's really killing me that it's not a nice 8 hours, but I'm trying to be cool about it. And coffee, my coffee counts as breakfast because I do protein coffee because I'm extra, and that has like 30 grams of protein, so get into it, folks. But I do actually eat like little egg bites too, so whatever, I'm getting food. Ugh. What about you? How much sleep did you get?
Okay, so I don't wear my watch when I sleep because I need it to charge.
Lame.
But I think like probably 8 hours. And I eat first breakfast, which I is coffee, right? And then I have second breakfast, which is actually like breakfast, like a protein bar or something like that.
Have you been meaning to tell me that you're a hobbit?
Yes, plot twist. Look at my feet.
Oh my goodness. Well, we'll admit it. We've both worked with plenty of students who are running on caffeine fumes. We've been there too ourselves.
Right now.
Currently. But college life doesn't always leave room for the full 8 hours of rest and balanced meals all the time.
Exactly. But this isn't about judgment. It's just about noticing your patterns and maybe asking yourself, is this actually working for me? Or do I just think it's working for me and I could be doing something to better help myself?
Yeah. All right. So here's the truth. Sleep isn't just rest. It's when your brain consolidates memory, your body heals, and your mood resets. Skip too much of it, and everything from focus to immunity can take a hit.
And yet college culture treats sleep like it's optional, like pulling all-nighters is a badge of honor, right? Boo. We see the fallout all the time: burnout, anxiety, and students feeling like they just cannot keep up.
So here's some counselor-tested advice. Treat sleep like a class. Like we've mentioned in previous episodes, schedule out when you need to sleep. You don't skip class and expect to pass it. You can't skip sleep and expect your body to function properly.
Right. And so Mya, let's get into this a little bit more. Why is sleep often the first thing to go in college?
I think it's something that is easy to be like, oh yeah, we'll get there. We'll get it later. Oh, my friends just invited me to go to McDonald's at midnight. Heck yeah. And hey, I did that too. Like, those are some of the most fun memories you make. But it has a bad effect on everything when you roll up to your 8 a.m. and you're like a zombie. Like, I am not paying attention to this class. I am a warm body in a seat. So, and then also when you were in high school, your parents were probably like, hey, bro, it's 10 p.m. You have to be at school at 7. But now you have a lot more freedom and you can do whatever you want, really. No one's going to tell you when to go to sleep and when to wake up. So sometimes that freedom and independence can backfire a little bit. So that's where that self-control and self-discipline can kind of come in.
That was wonderfully said.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Oh my gosh. So I'm twirling my hair because I'm blushing because that was such a nice compliment for those that are listening.
Or those that are watching.
Yes. So whatever. Oh my gosh. All right, Miss Lainie, how does lack of sleep affect mental health, not just those grades?
When you think about it, when you don't sleep, you can be irritable, right? Like you just do not have the ability to handle stressors as much. Maybe you're easily agitated. Insert science here, science.
Blah, blah, blah.
And we often see like there's comorbidity with sleep issues and depression, anxiety, and then other physical health issues. So it's not just your grades. You don't want to get into the habit of putting sleep on the back burner when things get busy. Honestly, it's something that you prioritize. With that goal of being like whatever your bigger goal is, whether it's getting the degree, whether it's doing really well in other areas of your life. You cannot do those things if you're not fundamentally taking care of yourself.
Yeah, for sure. So, what are some small tweaks for better sleep without overhauling your whole life, your whole routine?
Okay, a little bit more science here. So there's something called CBTI, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, but for insomnia specifically. And there's little tips and tricks throughout this model of therapy that can be really helpful for individuals. So, for example, say that you are having trouble going to sleep at a decent time, and I ask you, okay, well, what time are you going to bed every night? It's like 1 a.m. Well, we're not going to go ahead and make the goal of going to bed at 9:30 then. We're going to kind of meet you where you're at. We're going to say, okay, let's push it back a half hour. Let's aim for bed at 12:30. And then incrementally, we push it back more and more until we reach that end goal, sleep goal, right? Sleep bedtime time.
Bedtime time.
Biggest topics that come up is having trouble falling asleep, getting enough sleep, and actually scheduling, being consistent with your sleep schedule, right? So, something else that's included in CBTI is if you're having trouble falling asleep and you're like, I lay down at 11 o'clock and then I don't actually fall asleep till 1:30 and I'm tossing and turning all night. Okay. If you're in your bed for more than a half hour, you can't fall asleep, get up, go do something else, something that isn't, gonna increase your adrenaline, right? Maybe it's reading a book, but just a different space so that we don't have that association with our bed of not sleeping, with anxiety, with having a bad time, right? And this leads us right into our next little topic, Maya, which is really important, that bedtime routine. So I want you to tell me what you tell your clients that are struggling with sleep, and then maybe tell us a little bit about your routine.
So I do recommend a bedtime routine, which we'll get into in a second. And I also recommend, especially my clients that have racing thoughts before bed, they can't stop replaying things in their head, to get out of bed and write it down. Physically write it down is probably best, but if you can't be bothered with that, do it on your phone. I won't judge you. I've been there. But writing it down can just kind of get it out of your brain, put it on paper. You don't have to keep that paper. It doesn't have to be a journal. You don't even have to spell things correctly. Some people that don't like to can even scribble while they're thinking it out. So it kind of has that physical activation of writing, but it doesn't. No one's reading this. You don't have to keep it. You throw it away. So just doing the physical act of writing, scribbling, can really be helpful. My bedtime routine is nothing crazy. But I take my dog Bagel for a walk. Shout out Bagel. I know you're listening at home. Um, but I take her out for a walk, and there has literally been days where I'm like, oh, it's bedtime. My brain says, good night. So finish up her walk, give her her dinner, her little din. And then we go into the bedroom. She gets so excited when I say bedtime Bagel. And then I read. Typically, I do it on my phone. I know it would probably be better if it was a physical book, but I do read, and then I go to sleep. I used to be a social media demon, doom scroller, but unfortunately, they're right. You should not be on social media before bed. I sleep a lot better. I've been off social media for about a month and a half now, since September 1st. And yeah, unfortunately, the rumors are true, folks. Get off of social media before bed. Ugh, hate to say it. All right, what's your bedtime routine, Miss Lainie?
Okay, well, let me go into a little bit about what I tell students first, right? Is like,
Oh yes, that is the point of this, isn't it?
oh, okay. So what I tell students truly am like, make your bed a sanctuary, right? Obviously, you're often in a dorm room, so it's hard to have that shared space. So it's really that much more important to make that space really intentional. Get some big pillows, get a ton of stuffed animals if that's what you're into, right? Like get those lights, make it something that you're like, it's enticing to get into bed and start that bedtime routine. You don't want to be studying in bed, right?
No, only sleeping in the bed.
Right, because you want to have that association with your bed of sleep, right? Again, going back to that CBTI, if you're tossing and turning, you don't want to stay in that bed. You want to get out. So yes, really intentionally making a space that is comfortable for you, that you're excited to get into. And that leads me into my own bedtime routine. 8:30, I tend to take a shower and then I start my own bedtime routine, which I get excited about every night. I'm like, this is now relaxation. This is my time to kind of unwind from the day. I've turned off my brain, in so many ways. I'm just like, time to get into bed and read. I read in bed as well. So whether it's a physical copy or on my Kindle, right? I'm reading Kindle and I'm lowering that light. I'm making sure that it's the night shift tone or whatever it is, that it's not blue light into my eyeballs. And I make sure that I go to bed the same time every night. And what about weekends, Mya?
Yeah, I stick pretty close. It might be like sleep in an hour later, go to bed an hour later, but I really do stick to it pretty closely for the most part.
On like vacations too, I am okay, it's 9:30, it's bedtime. It's like, Lainie, you don't have work tomorrow. What are you doing? It's like, it's still bedtime. Good night, everybody. And then I run, right? Because it is so important to keep that time as like, I don't know, my own time to unwind. It's so important for me. And it's something that, I'll talk about at length. So get me out of here.
Oh, goodness. All right. Well, it is time for myth versus fact. Our first myth: you can train yourself to thrive on 4 hours of sleep.
Okay. The fact is, almost no one's body actually works that way. Sleep needs do vary, but the vast majority of people need 7 to 9, sometimes 10 hours of sleep, depending on physical activity.
So here's another myth: you can catch up on all your lost sleep over the weekend.
A lot of students say that, right? They're like, I'll just catch up on sleep this weekend. And I'm like, it doesn't work that way, right? So the fact is, sleeping in a little helps, but you can't undo that chronic sleep deprivation. Consistency matters more than cramming, just like you're studying. And something else that I just want to say here, and I know that we're going to get people that'll unfollow us after I say this.
Oh, goodness.
I'm so sorry, but naps don't work.
Oh, hot take. Ah!
Sometimes napping can help, but it's like truly when they say cat naps, it is like, if you look it up, it's only like 10 or 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. You don't want to be napping any more than that because plot twist, it's actually just sleep. Okay. Okay. So self-care spotlight. So
I'm just going to drop that and run.
I am so sorry. Okay. So here's our self-care spotlight for today. Try a no screens wind down, right? Just like Mya said, no social media. 10 minutes before bed, put your phone away.
I know. I really hate to break it to you guys, but it makes a difference. I can attest. I really did it. So it doesn't have to be fancy stuff. Just the 10 minutes even of intentional unplugging can help you sleep a lot more deeply.
And that's it for sleep. Never heard of her.
Remember, sleep isn't lazy, it's essential. Taking care of your body and brain makes everything else in your life easier.
Next time, we'll be tackling anxiety because your 2 a.m. overthinking session does not count as extra credit.
What? Are you serious?
Sorry.
All right. Well, this is Hot Mess Help Desk.
2 counselors,
total hot messes,
here to help you thrive.
Before we go, a quick reminder: you don't have to handle everything on your own.
If you're a student here at UE, you can connect with us at the Counseling Center. Just call 812-488-2663, email counselingservices@evansville.edu, or stop by during office hours.
If you're not on our campus, check in with your school's counseling center or a local provider for support.
And if you ever feel like you're in immediate danger or are having thoughts of harming yourself or others, please call Public Safety to get in contact with a UE counselor or call 911 right away.
You can also dial 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. It's available 24/7 anywhere in the U.S.
You're not alone, and reaching out takes courage.
This podcast was produced by Student Media. Student Media is a student organization at the University of Evansville that utilizes design, photography, video, and sound towards experiential and academic learning in journalistic endeavors and storytelling. Student media elevates the voice of the student body and connects the campus and community to important information and points of view. If you would like to donate, go to fireside.evansville.edu/donate to contribute to a program.